Hi, welcome to a new episode of the Real Life Manos, where I'll be talking to you about stuff I think about. So we'll be doing a little bit of a Q&A. Here's my closet right here where you can totally see into, also my bathroom. So we have a lot of cool, entertaining stuff for you to look at while I discuss things in kind of a rambly way. So let's get to looking. Hey, Marion's already here. Hey, how you doing? I want to talk to you about a couple things. We're going to be doing a little bit chatting with the kids about the new Doctor Who, which I have watched today. Also be talking about a little bit of the channel, what's going up this week, and at New York Comic Con. So we'll be talking about a few things there. Lots of stuff happened with New York Comic Con. As always, it's a huge convention that I cannot afford to go to, even when I had money. So I have to watch it through friends who are covering it online. My friend Kat over at let's see, on YouTube channel Comic Uno. And she's on Comic Frontline. She also works with Newsarama. I've been watching a lot of her stuff. Mount Vernon Kid's been there, so I've been watching him. And then a couple people who I don't know are like, posting a lot of stuff. So I've been kind of watching their kind of coverage of the whole thing. And it's been pretty cool. I don't know, I tend to like it a little bit better, San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con has like bigger news stories when it comes to TV shows and movies, but New York Comic Con looks like a more fun affair to kind of be at. I actually, if I never go to San Diego Comic Con, I'll be fine with that. I get the news out of the convention. I mean, maybe every once in a while, an awesome like panel looks cool to be at, but that's kind of it. Let's see. Oh, I do want to make sure I share this live. I didn't really do any warnings like, hey, this thing's going to happen. So let me just tell people what's going on. If you excuse me, I'm going to do this kind of thing. And let's see. Oh, hey, Omnitron's already here. It is I, Omnitron, flying solo tonight. Duchess is visiting her mother this weekend. I hope she and her mom have fun. Let's see. Hope you're doing cool. And I'm going to quickly share these things. Okay, I just shared it on Twitter, and I'm going to share it over on the Facebooks. And hey everybody, I'm going to tell everybody I'm live. I'm live. Ask me stuff. Okay. I'm also going to post this over on the Real Manos Facebook thing. Let me just do that quickly. Have to. Okay, and I think I'll also post this on the Red Knight Facebook page. For those of you who are interested in the Red Knight comic, I have a Facebook page for it. It's a good place to kind of look at some background stuff. I got a lot of cool imagery from the comics and from the artists that work on the book, who are all amazing. I am live answering your questions. Answering your questions. Okay. Now, until we get going here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the big Doctor Who premiere we just had. Jodie Whittaker finally takes over. Yeah, obviously she appeared in the last episode, regenerating. But, this is full-fledged. This is the Doctor's still regenerating while we throw the Doctor into a completely crazy situation to take care of, and we meet new companions episode. And I liked it quite a bit. This is the first time I've seen Jodie Whittaker as a Doctor. I still haven't seen I think it's the Christmas episode where she premiered. I still haven't seen that one. First impressions is I like her quite a bit, and she kind of reminds me a little of the David Tennant Doctor. Not in the cool, geeky guy kind of persona. I mean, that's the window dressing. Just the kind of like, just kind of a little bit of tone in her voice kind of reminds me of him. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of like resurgence. Let's see. Have you checked out the band Ice Nine Kills? I have not. At the great band Deadpoolzilla got me into them. Oh, I'll talk to Deadpoolzilla about them. Their current album is a must for any horror fan. Let's see. I get the fourth Doctor vibes off Whittaker. Yeah, I mean I guess you can see that too. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I really dug it a lot. Of course, this is one of those episodes when the Doctor regenerates. They have this problem where, like, hey, I'm kind of rebooting. I'm not quite sure who the hell I am, but I think I know. I'm doing this space stuff, and that's kind of what we see her going through in this episode. I really do like who I guess are shaping up to be the companions. I thought they were nicely kind of like fleshed out in this 90-minute episode. The stuff with the older couple, I forgot their names. Forgive me, I will not remember their names for the time being until we watch a couple more episodes, and I'll get more into them and I know who they are. But the older couple was really nicely done. They had a nice chemistry, and it's really touching at the end. The villain's really freaky. He's kind of a little bit like a scary Star Trek villain, a little bit of Predator mixed in there, and the whole machine tentacle vine thing was really creepy, especially in its first appearance. Good Lord, that was creepy. The teeth trophy face thing. Oh God, no. That was really good. And of course, the way the Doctor defeats him is, typical Doctor, plan. Good Lord. So yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit, and yeah, Whittaker, yeah, I'm kind of all in. I can see why she was chosen. I like quite a bit. I like her Doctor Who outfit. Not sure about the culottes. I'm sure I can get used to it. Everything else, I think I like the hooded trench coat. I like the shirt. So yeah, it's a good look. It's kind of funny seeing her like bounce around in Capaldi's outfit and the Doc Martens. And, it's too floppy and sloppy, and she looks like crap. It's kind of fun. I thought those boots were gonna fly off her when she jumped from crane to crane. Lucky for her, it didn't. Let's see. Does anybody else have any thoughts on the Doctor? Let's see. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 13th Doctor was amazing. I got more of a fourth Doctor vibe off her. I recently ran a new Fallout 4 playthrough because I found the theme. Let's see, face paint options where you can make your character look like the Crow. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I've seen a couple of face paints on video games where you can do a character that's not in the game normally, and that's kind of neat. It's not a thing I'll be doing, but that's kind of cool. I like that kind of stuff. So Lindsay is a bit more of a Whovian than I am. She was pretty much all in it, pretty much from the get-go. So it definitely pleased her. She's a more harder to please kind of like Doctor Who person, and she's been kind of like off the show for a while. I mean, partly because we lost BBC America for a while here, and it was just kind of hard to kind of get back into. Let's see, Omnitron. Let's see, but anyway, the Doctor is in this. We finally got back to a weird Doctor outfit, and I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of like a weirder, like, oh, I know who that is when you see the outfit. I like Capaldi's outfit a lot, but you're right. It isn't as iconic looking as some of the other outfits. I shouldn't call it costumes because they're clothes. But yeah, I dig it. I mean, I can definitely, yeah, I will forever recognize. I'll see those clothes and go, oh, okay, that's the Jodie Whittaker doctor. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, if I see like Capaldi's costume, I just won't like. That's a cool suit. Oh yeah, that was like the Capaldi thing. Let's see, but yeah, I'm gonna give it thumbs up. I've been out of Doctor Who for quite a while, so I'm kind of digging it. Maybe I'll. Do you guys want me to start talking about Doctor Who? I was going to start talking about Doctor Who on Geekvolution. I was fully prepared to bring a Doctor Who series to the channel, but that was when Lindsay and I changed our cable package and we lost BBC America for a while, and couldn't really do it. So I may start talking about Doctor Who on this channel again. I'm not the biggest expert, so that's kind of one of the biggest things. You know, I'm not a Doctor Who person in the same way I am a Mystery Science Theater person, or I don't know, or you know, with Batman or Spider-Man or some shit like that, or Steven Universe, where I'm like 100%, and I can tell you remarkably boring tidbits about these things. Doctor Who, I can't really do that. I like it, I enjoy it, but I don't know the really super geeky things that make you a lonely person. I don't know those things about Doctor Who. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll do it. I've been contemplating doing a video series with another person. I talked to Lindsay about it, and she's kind of. So maybe I'll talk about it with. I have a friend named Jeff who's really into the show. I've been kind of wanting to bring him on this channel for the longest time. Maybe that'll be an excuse. So yeah, I'll see. Let's see, $20 a month with a great cable, with a great basic package, just $5 more. Let's see. Oh, hey, you're suggesting Sling. Haha. We just got Sling. And I really, really like it. Like, it's less than what we were paying for, and there's a shit ton of stuff on it that has been really exciting. And I've actually been able to catch up and watch some old TV shows and movies that I haven't seen for years, and some I've been wanting to see forever. So yeah, we got this part of the package we got was Tubi, I think it is. I don't know, but like I just kind of ran across it and was like, what's this? And like, it looks almost too good to be true. There's so much good stuff on it. It's so dense. And when Burt Reynolds recently passed away, I started like, you know, digging through it. I was like, oh, there's Smokey and the Bandit. And then I saw White Lightning, which I think is a better movie. I really love White Lightning, and I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. And I've watched White Lightning like a lot on HBO as a 9-year-old, and maybe I shouldn't have. It's kind of like a dark movie, but I watched it again. Boy, that film holds up. And I was able to watch it on TV. There's like old TV shows on it. Let's see. Pluto is really nice. Yeah, so I'm going to jump on the Sling bandwagon, frankly. I think I can't believe I've never heard of this thing before until like Lindsay found it. Lindsay, of course, finds everything. Let's see. Hey, the Ponderer's here. Hey, Ponderer. I'm convinced OK Go exists only as Cartoon Network's gratuitous crossover and callbacks now. I love it. I think that's actually one of the genius aspects of the show. Is it seems to exist in this universe of every hero, either cartoon, anime, film, video game kind of type exists into one universe. So you could easily do that. And I think that's kind of amazing. Like the Captain Planet episode is really good. I remember a few people like were shit posting about it, like, "Oh man, Captain Planet looks like terrible." Blah, blah, blah. Watch that episode; it's kind of amazing. I really love it a lot, and it was very funny. They also did a Halloween episode where it was referencing like Scooby-Doo Girls School. Like, okay, if that was like a bug burning up your ass to reference, you did it. Good work. It's very funny because the art style looks just like it. Mm. I also, Pondera is also saying you also loved The Woman Who Fell to Earth, like a lot. Oh yeah, you're. Omnitron is bringing up that exact point about the Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School. Okay, yeah, if you want to do that, that's hilarious. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that hit me. I kind of digging the um, the new companions. It ends in a really, I think, captivating um, cliffhanger, and I kind of did see it coming. Like a few seconds before it happens, I was like, she's gonna suck everybody out with her, isn't she? And sure as shit does. But boy, I mean, where they end up is not where I expected. So I'm kind of in. I like these characters, and that's one of the things about Doctor Who is we've kind of gotten to this point with the series where each new Doctor is sort of like a story arc in and of itself, with each actor playing the character, and we get to see their story and how they affect the story of their companions. That's kind of what I like about it, and I think that's why the Matt Smith one was so successful, because boy, did they nail that first episode with those characters, and created. Look, if you haven't watched any other Doctor Who besides the Matt Smith era with the Ponds, I mean, that in and of itself works. So that was a really strong period. So, and that, I mean, that's why I think Doctor Who's ever. I don't know if it'll ever be as big in the U.S. again, or at least anytime soon, as it was during that period, because that's why it hit so hard. I mean, those characters in that situation just perfectly like grabbed a lot of people in this country. So we'll see if this new one, and also, to be honest, it's kind of nice, fresh coat of paint, nice new car smell, I thought. So I'm kind of all in on it. Omnitron, I thought they even did the. Oh yeah. Omnitron says they with the KO KO episode with the Ghoul School reference. They even did a. Do you remember that weird guy with the Great Dane? And let's see. Mary McDaniel said, "I thought a scene in the Death Stephen arc where the gems." This is back to a conversation we had. I think last week we were talking about what the gems would do if Stephen died or thought they died. Thought of a scene in the Death of Stephen arc where the gems get into a fight because of what happened to Stephen, and Peridot, Lapis, Bismuth, Greg, Connie, and all Beach City break up the fight. Omnitron, I would like to explain Doctor Who to people as if you don't care for one Doctor. Chances are the next one, yeah, it's pretty much it. I mean, it's that kind of franchise where it's like, if you're not caring too much, well, just hang out, just wait. It's one of those kind of perfect franchises. It's like James Bond or Godzilla, or they're it's so funny. It's like they're so different from each other, but they have that thing in common. And you can make that argument with live action franchises of comic book characters, but I generally regard that more for comic book characters. Like, if you don't particularly like this arc in Captain America or Wonder Woman, or this particular creator on Daredevil or something like that, hang out. Wait a minute, like somebody else will come down the road. Either it's successful and they eventually leave and leave their mark, or it's not successful and they'll be replaced. This is how these things go. Just be patient. I think geeks need to be more patient, frankly. I guess I'm going off on a little side road here. Oh, let's see. And it's the longest franchise, yes, in the world. Let's see, Ponderer. I know some people who dislike a lot of the traits of the modern doctors have had in common. They're definitely in the minority, though. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, not going to please everybody. Okay. I think I'd like to move on a little bit about Doctor Who, because I don't know if I have anything else really of value to say. Besides, it really seemed cool and I liked it. I'm going to talk about a couple things. I was watching some of the news that was coming out of New York Comic Con, and okay, we got like a date for the final season of Voltron, which is going to be, I think it's December 14th. They're gonna drop the last season, and I think this is season 8, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know where we're gonna go. I mean, we have. What's interesting is we're told like the Voltron Coalition has fractured, and they regroup at the end of the season on Earth. We're not quite clear what has happened in the Golor Empire. I mean, we're only told a few things, and of course we have that new mystery of that Altaean that just shows up at the end and like nearly kills everybody. It's amazing she survived that explosion, but I guess she was in a really well-made cockpit. So we'll get to see what her deal is. I assume she's an Altaean from the alternate reality. That would be my assumption. So we'll see what's going on with that. Let's see. I agree with changing writers. My favorite era was Peter David Hulk, with my favorite being his professor. Yes. That is actually my favorite Hulk era too. Hold on. I got something. I'm going to show you. Let's see. Where is it? Probably. Oh, here it is. Peter David was at Tidewater Comic Con this past May. I was only a few tables away because I had a Red Knight table, by the way, and I came up to him. And I don't know if I can make this a short story or not, but back in, what was it, 94 or something like that, he had that big debate with Tom McFarlane, and he completely like embarrassed him. It was hilarious and fantastic and brutal all at the same time. I don't have time to explain what they were talking about. But at the end of it, I actually walked up to it and I told him I wanted to be a writer, a comic book writer. And he said in a editorial, he mentioned that exchange I had with him. And he said, I really felt like there was really no reason to do this until this kid told me this. And I was pretty blown away by that. Anyway, cut to this year in May at the Tidewater Comic Con. He's a few tables away. So I walk up to him and tell him, hey, man, I'm that guy, and I became a comic book writer. Not the biggest comic book writer in the world by any means, but I write a comic. And he walked over to my table and bought my 3 copies of Red Knight, which I don't even care if he reads it. But no, I do care if he reads it. But I mean, good Lord, like one of my biggest heroes bought my comic, and he signed this for me. I made sure to bring this. This is the first issue. I guess you could call it the first issue of his Smart Hulk era, which is my favorite Hulk era. I mean, he did Hulk for a couple of years before this and a few years after. But this to me is, I think, perfection. Was when he kind of he rebuilt the character and kind of worked on a lot of character arcs and psychology and put together his version of Hulk. And then we had fun with this guy for a while, which was kind of like the perfect merged Hulk or smart Hulk or whatever you want to call him. But yeah, this is my particular favorite run on it. And for lots of reasons. Like, you felt good. Like, hey, he got over his shit. he's working on it, and he has kind of a family together in a way. Like Rick and there was Betty and Rick and Marlo, and the whole Pantheon. So yeah, this is wonderful. This I had him sign this because this was very important. I'm a big believer when you go to a comic book convention to get your favorite creator to sign something. I'm a big fan of bringing something that means something to you. Like, there's a lot of different Hulk and Peter David works that he could have signed for me. This one meant a lot to me. I read this one over and over again, and I had a lot of emotional significance for this one. So it definitely brought this one. But I don't know, that's the way I like to do it. And let's see, I dropped Old Time after season. Let me go back. It was just a nice, happy outcome for Bruce Banner for once. Yeah. Ponderer, I dropped then Voltron after season 4. That show went on way too long without much compelling character development growth. Plus, I didn't find the action or comedy very impressive. Well, that's fair. I was already kind of engrossed with the characters, and season 4, I think season 4 has some really strong episodes. So I'm sorry they didn't really take for you. If I'm not mistaken, I think season 4 has the episode where Pidge finds her brother, which is probably one of my favorite episodes in the series. Let's see. And Omnitron says, to me, Professor Hulk, the perfect evolution of the Hulk. Finally in control, being able to be a hero full time and still had the whole rage issues, but more in control of himself. Yeah, it's like he really did figure it out for a while. And when I see someone overcome something like that, it's really inspiring. And it's part of being a hero is overcoming your problems. I mean, and they did it in a realistic way where like he wasn't perfect. Like he wasn't totally 100% a-okay all the time. He was struggling with it, and the way he fell apart and the way that whole thing fell apart felt very real. I'm glad Peter David got to be able to do that instead of like him moving on and then somebody else doing it. Because I don't know. I hate it when the first thing somebody does is tear apart the previous run on a book, especially if it was good and didn't need to be torn apart. I'm a little more forgiving if it was completely shit. Let's see. I got Grant Morrison to sign my copy of All-Star Superman 1, not the trade format, but the OG All-Star issue 1. My favorite incarnation of Superman that reminded me why I love Superman. Yeah, I mean, over and over again, that's what I hear about that series. I read it too. It's really good. Although I will admit, I do like Immortal Hulk. I've been thinking about checking that out. I haven't been able to really get back into Hulk since Peter David left. And I kind of dig the fact that it looks like they're doing more of a horror element to the title, which is kind of cool. I mean, the Hulk does kind of have his origins in horror. I mean, there's a lot of, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and the Atomic Age all kind of mixed in there. So yeah, that's kind of cool. They haven't really dealt with that too much. He's more of like a superhero monster. And let's see. I forgot to ask how Stephen would die and supposedly die. Sorry, I keep asking the same thing over and over again. Oh, that's okay. But let's see. Well, they're not obviously, there's a kid show on Cartoon Network. They ain't gonna kill him. But I assume, I don't know. I've had this kind of like feeling for a good long while that Stephen will, I don't know, maybe be the ruler of Homeworld at the end of the series, or at the very least be the one who really changes it. I've sometimes wondered if he and Connie will permanently merge into Stevani like Garnet. And maybe that will cause them to be immortal together. Who knows? I mean, really, I have some suspicions about the way the rest of the series is going to go, but they're only suspicions. I don't claim to be like an expert on this thing. I try not to be too hardcore about that. Because that's a good way to get pissed off when they don't do what you want them to do. Just not a thing I like fans to do, frankly. Um, let's see. Immortal Hulk is a weird mishmash. By the way, I love that term. Mismatch of the Incredible Hulk 70s show and 70s horror grindhouse movie of sorts. Oh yeah, well, of course, look, I grew up in 70s Marvel, so 70s Marvel is my comfort zone. And a lot of that kind of dealt into kind of creepiness and like good old fashioned like horror stuff. So that's kind of looking cool. My hope, by the way, is I think I brought this up a couple of times, but my hope is now that the Hulk is back, that can help She-Hulk kind of regain herself again. Because ever since Civil War II, where Bruce got killed and she got hit with that missile like that, and got sent into a coma, she kind of came out with PTSD. And hasn't really been herself, and has been kind of a savage monster, She-Hulk. And I don't know, that's fun every once in a while, but I want to go back to the default on Jennifer, because that's kind of the character that I particularly love, and that's one of the more things that really make her more distinct than the other Hulk, like that she had her shit together and she could be like all the cool things at once. Just making her the same as Bruce, I don't know, feels like a step backwards. And to be honest, like if she had started that way, I don't think she'd be as well loved as she is today. She-Hulk actually was in control of herself. She overcame it at the end of last run. She's not gray anymore. She's got a power boost from the... Oh, okay. I haven't read the end of that arc, so yeah. Let's see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm assuming that's probably where Jason Aaron is going. Right now, Jason Aaron is kind of in charge of She-Hulk because she doesn't have a title on her own right now, and she's in Avengers. I don't mind her keeping the super giant version. It'd be cool if she had 3 forms, like her Jennifer Walters form, the slender She-Hulk form, and then the hulked out She-Hulk. That'd be cool if they constantly did her like in 3 forms like that. Like, hey, she's fighting, but oh man, she's got to turn it up a notch. Time to go Super Saiyan She-Hulk. So we'll see about that. I'm digging the Avengers series, by the way, with my minor nitpicks about where She-Hulk is going right now. Who is your favorite Hulk villain? Asks Marion McDaniel. Blah. I suppose. That's a good question. There's the leader, and then there's the Abomination. I remember the first time I saw the leader, actually, in his goofy, long head. I like the fact that the leader isn't constantly in Hulk. Like, he's not always there. Like, he'll be gone for a good long while, and then just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, to everyone's surprise, oh, shit, it's the leader. I don't know. He's a lot of fun. I think he's a little underrated. I think he could be a bigger gun in the Marvel universe, but I don't know. He just kind of he's always doing his own thing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, he would have to be. And he needs to always have the mustache. I don't know. There's just something about that huge head, either the brain head or the shoebox head, but always keep that mustache. It's funny how like he comes up with these costumes. Like, why did you decide to wear that outfit? Let's see. How do you think it would be? How do you think it would affect Peter if he were to snap Norman Osborn? I don't know. Probably call it a day and get a beer. No, he really would feel terrible about it. But let's face it. I mean, Norman is the worst human being ever. But yeah, he wouldn't like it. I don't know if he would turn himself in over it. He would. It wouldn't be great. He wouldn't feel good about it. Even if killing Norman would solve a lot of his problems and a lot of other people's problems. There is this cool arc that's not even. You know what's really interesting about Brian Michael Bendis did is he has this major like event in the relationship between Peter and Norman happen in Jessica Jones' book, where he starts going crazy and just randomly killing people more and more. And Jessica has the scene where she tells Spider-Man about this, and he goes, "So he's just killing people now?" And like, he always kills people, Peter. There's something about that moment that, you know, puts some kind of responsibility to Peter, because look, like, he has this weird chess game with Norman through a lot of their history, where they know each other's identities, but they can't make a strike against each other. But Norman keeps being violent and hurting people, and Peter's kind of not doing anything about it. And you know, they haven't really dealt with that too much. Like, come on, you're the big responsibility guy, and you could end this. And I'm not talking about killing him ended. I mean, what he did, like, you know, he, joined with Jessica and Luke to like end Norman Osborn, because Norman Osborn, geez, he was like the Lex Luthor for a while after he came back to life. He was like, "Hey, I'm Norman Osborn. I'm a rich guy." And that ended. Like, he's been a villain. He's been a known criminal since that arc. So that's kind of interesting to see where they're gonna. I don't know. I don't think he'll ever really kill him. Outside of just hoping he'll just die. Let's see. That was my last question so far. Let's see what else is going on. There is I'm gonna have to look this information up, but apparently Marvel is doing another event where they're renumbering their books, and it's like, I don't know why you keep doing that. Like I accept no excuse for renumbering books, and I know they're going to do that for Champions. Champions is going to renumber their title in a couple months or something like that, and the same writer is working on it, and that drives me nuts. Like, okay, I can see you legitimizing renumbering when you change the team and the focus and everything, but no, it's same people. So, and they're doing, and that's not just Champions, they're doing that for other books too. It drives me nuts. I wish, it's one of the things that Marvel does that just endlessly irritate me. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was going to get to this. Thank you for bringing it up, Omnitron. Young Justice is coming back with Connor Kent, Superboy, Bart Allen, Impulse, Tim Drake is back as Robin, not Red Robin, and Cassie Sandsmark. Yeah, you know what? Look, during the 2000s, all these characters have been screwed over bad. Like, Impulse was a huge thing for a while, and it would really shock me, like, how gone he was. Like, it was over. Like, and Impulse was supposed to be the next big thing, and pretty popular, and as well as Young Justice. I could accept Connor not coming back. Not because I didn't like the character. I like the character, but I could see that being an era and then going away. But and then Tim Drake. I was really like stunned of how bad things got for Tim Drake. Like, I swear to God, like, ever since Identity Crisis, his character's been in just a downfall. Like, they killed off Jack Drake, and they had him adopted by Bruce and move in with Bruce. I never liked that. One of the things I liked that made him distinct was he was his own man with his own family and his own life. I thought that was just an unimaginative idea. And also, like, he had a stepmom, and she was like, bye. They had a good relationship. It's not like they were like at odds or anything like that. Like, Bruce adopted Tim when he already had a stepmother. who was in like his guardian. Like I just really, and then of course, then he gets replaced by Damien, which I'm not a Damien fan. Yes, I understand he can be written well, but as a character in general, I just don't care for him. To be fired in favor of Damien, good lord, that was rough. I really disliked that time. So I'm happy to see him back, and happy to see Cassie. Good lord, she also got like short end of the stick because she was like this thief and not connected to Wonder Woman. Because she was a fun character when she debuted. She was essentially a little bit like Miss Marvel, like Kamala Khan. She was this like nerdy character that was a big fan of another hero and got to be a hero through circumstance. And you kind of live through her fandom and kind of like share her little struggle. She reminded me a lot of Kamala, actually, now that I think about it. So I'm kind of happy to see Young Justice back. I guess it's he's Tim Drake has been DC's whipping boy since Identity Crisis. I think DC's had a few, but Tim is one of them. So yeah, I'm not happy about that. Marion McDaniel writes, what would the gems and the diamonds think of the Hulk, especially after seeing his raw power? It'd be cool if they were like mixed into that Planet Hulk storyline. Like maybe gladiators were from maybe escaped homeworld warriors. Oh man, how about a Jasper Hulk fight? That'd be kind of cool. I could go for a Jasper Hulk fight. And the Wonder Twins are back too. Yeah, look, hey, let's bring back Wendy and Marvin too. Let's just go all out. Like, look, I'm kind of excited because it does seem like for a while, like I don't know if they had the rights to go all out with the Wonder Twins, but let them go nuts. I love the fact that they're keeping sort of their hairstyles and their costume looks, and they're going all in with the monkey. It's like, okay, yeah, it's an alien blue monkey, so whatever. There is not much, as a kid watching Super Friends, it's like, hey, Wendy and Marvin are there, and they're sort of like Velma and Shaggy, essentially, with capes. And now they're gone, and now they're replaced by aliens with superpowers. So like, oh, okay. They never bother to explain that. By the way, don't listen to anybody my age who are in their 40s telling you that cartoons these days are shit and theirs was the good cartoons. Fuck those people. They don't know what they're talking about. Any of the cartoons I grew up as a kid, put them on the air today, would not hold up. Kids would go, well, who the fuck are the Wonder Twins? Like, where do they come from? What's their story arc? Says the 8-year-old. So yeah. It's nice to kind of maybe with the comic books get these characters fleshed out, because I've seen Jason Jen for like all my life, like maybe 40 years. I don't know who the hell they are. I mean, yeah, one can turn into water things and ice things, and one can turn into animals, and they're an alien from some planet. I don't know a damn thing about them. So that'd be kind of fun. And actually, Young Justice is a good place to put them. I like, Young Justice always has that kind of flavor where, they could easily just be the Teen Titans, but they've always been able to kind of like distinguish themselves from Teen Titans. Let's see. Part of me wants there to be a crossover with Justice League and Super Friends. They keep doing it with those Hanna-Barbera crossovers. Yeah, you know what? That's the one that's missing. I mean, good lord, it started with the Looney Tunes characters, and then they went to the Hanna-Barbera characters. Aquaman and Jabberjaw is fantastic. Look, if the Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters can meet in a crossover, there's like, 52? Are there still 52 universes in the multiverse? I mean, one of them could be the stupid Super Friends universe, where lightning turns planes into monsters. That kind of physics. That was a story they did. Lightning turned planes into monsters. So that's how things go. By the way, I liked in the old Superman show, uh, the simplest explanation they could go was some weird lightning. Like, oh, okay, it's weird lightning. All right, well, that's different. Let's see. To me, Omnitron says, to me, Young Justice is a place where future legacy heroes eventually do the Justice League thing. Teen Titans are where young heroes grow, discover themselves. And yeah, I think that's how, I think Teen Titans has kind of evolved into that, because I do think distinctly, yes, it was supposed to be the junior leaguers, the sidekicks, having a chance to hang out and, become like the Justice League someday in the future, which we know that will never happen. But, they could. But it's become such a franchise in and of itself. I don't, I think if you become a Titan, you don't have to be a Justice League person. You could be a Titan. I mean, that's enough. The Young Justice seems more in line with Justice League, who has Justice in the title. And yeah, that's something I definitely thought when Peter David, by the way, started writing Young Justice. And by the way, it's so funny. Like the first few issues were just a joke series. Like it was like, just Tim, Bart, and Connor just hanging out and having wacky adventures. And then he added the female characters, and things got a little bit more serious and really thoughtful, but still had a strong sense of humor. It's funny. He's talked about how he didn't know how to write the book until he added the girl characters, because he had teenage girls. He had 2 or 3 daughters at the time. They were all starting to get to that age. I was like, well, wait, I know how teenage daughters. I don't know. I know how teenage girls talk. I have them in my house all the time talking. So then he really knew how to. He brought his family life into the series. Hey, let's see. Dude, the Wonder Twins announcement book, crazy. I know, right? I'm a little weirded out by the fact that I'm excited about that. I'm a little more excited about the Wonder Twins showing up in the proper DC universe. I probably thought I would have. So, and even Gleek, like, oh, fuck, Gleek. Okay, great. I am totally into Wendy and Marvin showing up. I don't know how they're going to do that because, hey, fun fact in the Super Friends cartoon Bible, Wendy is supposed to be a relative to Bruce Wayne. How? I don't know. I don't know how, but she was. I assume they probably will not keep that if they ever bring those in. And Marvin is just Shaggy with a cape, essentially. Let's see. So hyped about all the Bendis line. Yeah, I know. He's definitely bringing it. What would Dipper from Gravity Falls think of the Joker? He would. Well, to be honest, like after dealing with Bill, I think Joker he'd be freaked out by him. He'd be leery of him, but I don't think he'd be as intimidated about him. Like, look, after that summer, I think those kids could do anything. Let's see, Marvin is Shaggy if he never left the Scooby gang and got a haircut and went on a diet and also stayed off the weed. Like, if he had never really got in the whole hipster scene and he just stayed a comic book dork and never got into the pots. So that'd be great. It'd be funny if they made a Marvin more like Shaggy. I mean, let's just embrace it. Let's see. What else is going on? Let's see. I'm trying to think of what other huge news was happening at. They did an announcement. Kelly Thompson is taking over Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is currently going through its Life of Captain Marvel miniseries, which I've been enjoying a lot. If you haven't been reading it, I recommend it. It's great. Margaret Stoll, who's been writing Captain Marvel for the last couple of years, has been doing that. And to my surprise, I suspected she was using this miniseries to launch what she was going to do in the upcoming series. But no, this is kind of her swan song, really, which actually isn't bad because, like, It's really good. So hey, if you're going to end on a good note, do it. And Kelly Thompson is going to be taking up the reins. I've read a couple things Kelly Thompson's doing. I know she's doing a Dark Horse book that Lindsay's reading, and I think it's I can't remember if she's writing the Nancy Drew book or not. But Marvel and DC, I think for every few years they have one writer that writes way too many books, and they just keep picking up assignments and they're writing and like Bendis was like that for a while at Marvel, and Jeff Johns was like that over at DC for a while, and I think Kelly Thompson is now the new Bendis, or Stan Lee, if you want to call her. And it's the first time I've seen a woman kind of take that kind of position. Like, she's writing a fuck ton of books over at Marvel, and I haven't read what she's been doing like monthly. I've just been like I've seen things here and there, but I like what I read from her so far. So I'm really kind of excited to see what she does with Captain Marvel, especially after what I think they're going to do with the Life of Captain Marvel miniseries. If you haven't been reading the regular title from Margaret Stoll, I've been off and on in it. Sometimes she's had really good stories and really good character stuff, and her humor is really good. But occasionally the storylines with the Alpha Flight in space, with her being in charge, have occasionally felt like first season DS9, which was not the most exciting season they had. So I don't know. I was kind of on and off about it, but this last miniseries is great, and I'm really excited to see I have no idea what Kelly Thompson's going to do. I don't even know who the artist is going to be, but I'm kind of all in just from that. Let's see what we got here going on. Have you read the Rosenberg Maddox series? It's good. Honestly, all the X-Men miniseries right now have been great. I am not. I've been hearing some good things about the X books in general. Really, there's kind of I don't know if it's like Marvel finally letting loose with the X-Men titles, since it looks like the Fox deal is kind of working out in their favor. So they're letting X-Men be X-Men, but there's a fire under their asses over the X titles. I think I'm just going to pick up. I think Uncanny X-Men is coming back. They have a flagship book that's about to start. I know for a while it was X-Men Gold, which was good. But it should be Uncanny X-Men. Uncanny X-Men should be your flagship title. I don't know. It's just easier to have one title where everything else circles around it, instead of like, whoa, because for a while I didn't know what X-Men book was like the main book. Like, X-Men Gold was helpful, but other than that was rather difficult. Let's see. I'm not sure where you stand on X-Men, but like it's been kind of a revival going on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just what I was saying. It really does feel like they've kind of like found it again, and I do believe that has something to do with all that legal bullshit, which I will never understand. Like, why shoot yourself in the foot to get back at Fox? It's basically they were essentially cutting off their nose to spite their face. And it's like, ha! We'll show you. We won't promote your movies by lessening our comics that we make money off of. I don't know. I assume that came from Disney, frankly, because they have more money than they need, and the comic book publishing house is fine, but they could afford to kind of roll the dice and lose some money for a while by doing that. And who knows? I don't know. Maybe it's working. Look, I ain't Disney, so maybe I don't know anything. Let's see. Could Lex Luthor? I can't speak. Could Lex Luthor work as a villain for Stephen and the Gems? My first thought is no, but he is everything that Stephen stands up against. Like, he's everything Stephen is not, in the same way he's everything Superman is not. And we've seen Superman challenged by the type of person Luthor is. It'd be kind of to see Stephen challenged that way, by dealing with somebody you can't talk to and you can't trust. and because he's a trusting kid, and he thinks people have some sort of good in them, and some villains do not, like some people do not. Sorry, you can't save everybody. Oh, let's see. So that would be interesting. I hadn't thought of that. That wasn't an obvious kind of matchup, but that would be interesting. Let's see. We're getting close to, what time is it? Okay. Well, we're getting close to an hour here. I am going to take a couple more questions, and I'm going to be kind of wrapping up here. I just did Monster Fest over at the Chesapeake Central Library. There was one person who had bought some Red Knight at Fantasy and then came back to buy some Red Knight Monster Fest. So thank you. That was really cool. And I think that's pretty much, I'm done for the shows this year. I did 3 shows. I did Tidewater Comic Con, I did Fantasy and Monster Fest. And I was hoping I'd be able to do a 4th convention this year, but that's not going to happen. My hope is I can do 4 next year. I would love to do Fantasy, Monster Fest, Tidewater Comic Con, and a 4th one, maybe Virginia Comic Con. Although I haven't been out of the state for a while. I did a few when I first launched Red Knight. I did, Philly, I did Baltimore, I did Heroes Con. I'd love to do one of those again. I would like to do Baltimore Con, because Kat, creator of Kat from Calamia, and Daniel Caliban just did a show together at a table. They had a table at Baltimore Comic Con, and they had a really good time there. I really like Baltimore Comic Con. I've done that once, and I enjoyed the show a lot. I'd be interested in doing that next year. Heroes Con is great. I've done a few Heroes Cons as a fan and as a creator, and I'd love to do that again. That's a great show. I don't know if anybody has been here. Let's see, if anybody has a convention that they think I should, kind of like consider, yeah, just let me know, either through the live show. You can hit me up on Twitter about it. I'm willing to listen to recommendations, especially if you want to see me in your town, where you can come and buy shit from me directly and say hello to me. Let's see, what are we going here? Let's see, how would Tom Stevens' death? Pretty bad. Pretty freaking bad, I'd say. Omnitron. Oh, sad news on that Knights of Washington comic I told you about. Oh, I was working. The artist broke his hand and nerve damage, so he can't draw for it. Wow, that sucks. May end up doing it as a novel. Don't give up. The artist might be, I don't know the situation you just told me, but I mean, he might be sidelined for a while. But don't give up. That's my instant advice. Because I've had some tough times before I launched Red Knight. Last couple of years, I've had some tough financial times, like 2015 through 2017 were kind of tough years for me. Those are 2 tough years. And I had moments where am I even really a comic book person anymore? But no, I made it through. I got my shit together. I regrouped and refinanced, and I'm better. So I have the book relaunching soon. Matter of fact, it's more about the short fuse schedule really than me, because my stuff's all set. I'm all set. And let's see where we go. Marcus. Oh, hi, Marcus. I don't think I've seen you comment yet. Moore's Supreme. I know random. I just got into this chat. Well, hey, welcome. Better late than never. I have not read More Supreme. I've heard everything great about it. I did read, may I recommend to you as a companion book, I don't remember the writer anymore on it, but Sophie Campbell did the art for it. And it is Glory, which was the Rob Liefeld Wonder Woman kind of book that really went nowhere for 25 issues. And it got brought back for a year. and holy crap, is it good! Sophie Campbell was Scott Campbell when she was working on the book, but yeah, it's really amazing. It's like I think there's collected in two easy to find trades. I do recommend that back to you. But yeah, I've heard so many great things about Moore's Supreme. It's almost as if his lingering ideas for Superman were filtered through Supreme, because he was like, well, okay, you're obviously knocking off Superman. Let's kind of run with that and see what we have. And Rob Liefeld was smart enough to just let him do it, and was like, okay, go all in, do what you want. Let's see. All right, Matt. Yeah, I don't have any more questions here. Yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to jump on in. I'm not quitting on Knights of Washington by a long shot. I'm just using the extra time to come up with more story arcs, characters, and flesh. Yeah, look, when you have downtime on this project, do that. Take some time to think about it and flesh it out. I know Red Knight has benefited from not being able to go all in like when I first created it. I've had periods in my life where I wasn't working on it, but I was still working on it up here, and I've only made the project better through time, through the fact that I've had been patient. And that's what I mean. As a comic book creator, you should, especially an independent comic creator, you really should be patient. Be thoughtful of what you put out in regards to what can you put out, what can you get out right now, as far as budget and time, and don't feel like you have to put everything in one issue, while at the same time be mindful that you can't maybe do a 20 story arc. Just kind of be mindful of that. At least that's the kind of thing I've learned. Considering to see if I could create a counterpart to the Knights, like the Samurai of San Francisco, which is a group of samurai who operate the Japanese neighborhoods of San Fran. That's kind of cool. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, just go fun. Yeah, have fun. Have an idea box, throw it in, and whatever sounds cool to you, go for it. Whatever sounds cool and can fit into what you're doing, go for it. And that's kind of what I've been doing with Red Knight. Red Knight, if you've read the first 8 issues, you might think it's kind of limited take on the superhero universe. I mean, I have a really big universe that I have barely scratched the surface about showing you. I'm just showing you a small corner, and then you get to turn around and see how big it is. That's my plan anyway. So I am currently talking to editors over at Shortview. So right now we have a plan in place for release. I'd kind of like to get closer to it before I really start talking about it publicly, because things change. So I don't want to go off on one thing and then we completely do something different. I don't know. That's not the way I like to do things. So I want to make sure everything's set in stone 100% before I really get going. But I think we're a few months away. If I can get some more coverage on my profiles here, and that's all I have to say right now. So hey, keep your eyes out on here. Support this channel. Support the Facebook for Red Knight and the Real Manos. And I can probably kind of get the ball rolling maybe a little bit faster. So that's all I have to say on that. If there is a convention you'd like to see me appear at for Hawk and Red Knight and my other books. Speaking of which, I have Davita, and I'm trying to figure out how to publicize the book better. I haven't really done a very good job on it, on publicizing the book and putting it in people's hands. So I'll be doing that a little bit more. Also, we got Christmas coming up, and my book with Lindsay, Krampus in the Corner, is going to be available once again. We've reordered books and dolls. So if you haven't had a chance to pick it up, or you want to pick one up for a friend, I'll let you know as soon as we get everything in order here, so I can start, telling you, where to place your order. It's going to be on Lindsay's website. Let's see. One thing I keep debating about is to add magic or not. Should I keep it kind of like skewered take on reality or add supernatural elements? Well, I can't really. I don't know how much I can advise on that. I think you should just listen to your gut on that. If you feel like it's too much, maybe rein it in and maybe challenge yourself. Or, hey, whatever your take on the supernatural and how it would fit in relation with your universe, go for it. In comparison with Red Knight, there is magic in the Red Knight universe. I try to. Here's a couple things. I have magic in the universe, and yet I don't really settle on things like afterlife and gods. Like, there are no gods in the Red Knight universe. There's no Greek gods or Norse gods or like Egyptian gods or anything like that. I don't really have characters representing heaven and hell. I thought it'd be more interesting to make that a cutoff, like have kind of a agnostic superhero universe where characters do believe things and pattern themselves after, like, Christianity, Islam. There'll be characters that kind of like are influenced by the Greek gods and stuff like that. But I thought it'd be more interesting not to have any definitive answers. Like Red Knight won't be fighting any demons or angels or anything like that. It's tempting to play with that kind of stuff, but it's an interesting challenge. And so far, it's caused me to write in interesting directions. So I hope that helps. Let's see. I mean, the knights themselves are kind of nutty, honest and good. But I was just wondering if I should keep the. Oh yeah, you just said that. Okay, sorry. So yeah, if anybody has any ideas about any conventions, I'm leaning towards Baltimore. I'm leaning towards Heroes Con. I really miss those conventions. Those are really good conventions. If you haven't been to one of those, check it out. Those are really good. I think that's it. And I am trying to decide if I'm going to be able to do a weekly Manos tomorrow. I've been trying to aim on Mondays. It might be Tuesday coming out. I had a pretty busy week last few days, and I haven't really been able to prepare the episode as well as I like. I like to shoot the show on Sunday, and I haven't been able to do that. And it's evening now, and I'm not going to shoot an episode now. So I may either postpone the episode a week and just call it a week, or do it on Tuesday. I'm going to be doing another New Comics Wednesday. I'll probably do it live, and that should be posted on Wednesday. I am shooting a couple videos on Monday, so get ready for that. I don't know if it's going to be Weekly Manos. I don't know. I may take a week break from Weekly Manos and just do it on next Monday. Give myself some time. Let's see. Oh, Dragon Con is a good con. Yeah. I forgot to mention Dragon Con. I would love to go to Dragon Con, either as a vendor or just to go. Because Dragon Con just looks amazing every time. Like, I forget when Dragon Con is until I start seeing all sorts of cool people on Twitter going, "Hey, I'm at Dragon Con, blah blah blah." Yeah, every time I miss it, I regret it. There is a Steven Universe convention here in Virginia Beach. It's the second annual Beach City Con, and I don't think I'm going to be able to go to that. It's rather expensive, and I understand it's an independent convention and they're doing what they can, but it looks a little pricey. Although they have the voice actress who plays Connie. Let's see. They got the writer of the Steven Universe comic appearing there. The woman who did the Pearl's Secret rap career is there. So I don't know. It looks cool. They've been able to have some cool guests. these 2 years. So I mean, obviously, the money goes into that convention as far as like paying off good guests. I don't know if anybody's seen. I mean, look, that's in my area, in my backyard. And I still haven't been able to go to it. The round table went to the first show. I don't know if they're going to go to this one because they're at New York Comic Con. But yeah, I think we're done for the show. So I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be talking. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do this next week. I'll put some programming notes in case I can't do the show next week. I'll try and do Real Manos, Weekly Manos for Tuesday. Don't look for it tomorrow. It's not going to air tomorrow. But it's either going to be Tuesday or I'm just going to skip a week. Maybe I should just make it skip week. But no, there's a lot of information that came out this week. Maybe I should just do it. Look for the Tuesday. I'll be posting it sometime Tuesday day. So it takes a while to work on it because I got to edit the thing and that takes forever. So I'm not good at this stuff. So, it takes some time. All right. I think that's it for now in case I got any more questions. Okay. Enjoyed it as always. I enjoyed talking with you guys and I hope to make this more of a thing. Maybe I can, maybe like the Geekolution show I used to do, which focused on talking about that week's TV shows. Maybe I can do something similar to that. If you have any ideas or suggestions, maybe I can talk about some TV show or a couple TV shows or what's going on, like the big news of the week. We can, kind of, arrange the show around and shit like that. Thanks, Amatron. It was epic. I agree. I think that's it for now. So I'm going to push the button. Good night.